Hello there, you're welcome to IKTV. And on this episode, we want to continue the series we've been doing about the legacy projects of His Excellency Mr. Godwin Obaseki as regards governance in Edo State. As we will talk about five projects that impact positively and directly on the people of Edo State. We talked about the Edo refineries, we talked about the Usiomo power plant, we talked about the College of Agriculture, Igoraki. We also talked about Edo jobs, and we talked about the Edo Mall. Those are projects that are actually impacting on the people directly, that are creating jobs as we speak, and will create even more jobs in the future. So let's just dive right in on the next series. So in this series, we want to talk about five more projects. Okay, there are a lot of projects that the government has done, but we just want to be picking them one after the other because they're picking on the very, very important projects that are actually legacy projects, because they are legacy projects because of the fact that they are enduring, in the sense that this administration will be remembered for these projects. So first, we want to talk about the Secretariat building. So the Secretariat buildings are actually located along Benin Road, and these projects were actually meant to house all the MDAs, the ministries, the departments and agencies of Edo State government. And it was commenced by former Governor Brigadier Samuel Ogbemudia of blessed memory during the military era. But these buildings were actually abandoned by various administrations in Edo State until the coming of His Excellency Mr. Godwin Obaseki, who decided that he would revamp and rebuild these buildings. And the buildings are actually labeled A, B, C, D. Okay, the governor started with block C and D, and he completed them. And recently, the block B building was also completed, although block A is also currently in use. But you have to visit the complex to see just what I'm talking about. But we'll show you pictures and you would appreciate just how important these projects are and the level of work that the governor has actually done in this complex. Basically, you talk about the architecture itself, you'll be very, very impressed. And you talk about the facilities that are also right there in this building. You talk about the elevators, the furnitures, and the equipments that are in this office that are giving those state workers joy, pleasure to call themselves civil servants. And that is just what the governor has done in the Secretariat buildings. It has enough car park space, it has a crèche, it has 24-hour power supply. So gone are those days where civil servants have to bring a fan to the office, or they have to fan themselves with paper or hand fan just because they want to work for the government. It's not like that anymore. Right now, all the offices are fitted with air conditioners, so you can imagine what it feels like to be an Edo worker right now under His Excellency Governor Godwin Obaseki's administration. So that is one of his legacy projects. So let's just go to the second. So the second is the ETSMA reform. So ETSMA is actually the body that is responsible for control and the management of traffic in Edo State. Those days we didn't really have this outfit well organized. In time past, they were more or less being taken as togs, okay, as touts. That's before this administration. But when His Excellency Governor Godwin Obaseki came on board, he redefined their work ethics. And right now, these people, when they approach you, whenever you commit a traffic offense, you would know that you're actually talking to people who are actually well schooled and well experienced in the job. So they no longer behave in the way they used to behave in previous administrations. So this is one of the reforms that the governor has actually brought about in this administration, and they have actually been taken into the civil service. So they are not touts, okay, they are actually civil servants. So when you see them stop you at the road, along the road, you will know that you're talking to people who are actually bona fide workers of Edo State government. Apart from that, the ETSMA office has actually been rebuilt. Okay, it's also along Benin Road, and they have simulators, they have equipment that are meant to train even would-be drivers on how to go about road business, okay, that's been on the road, driving on the road, okay. So they have psychomotor evaluation offices, okay, that assesses workers, okay, drivers in Edo State, of their mental fitness to be behind the steering, okay, the steering wheel. So these are just some of the reforms that the governor has put in place. And apart from that, road signs too have been placed along various intersections, various junctions, and various stops along the various roads in Benin City. So whenever you're going to any place in Benin, you have that road sign that will tell you just where you are, and if you are new to the city, you will never miss your way. So that's just one of those reforms. So the third legacy project of His Excellency is actually the civil service reforms, as well as the prompt payment of salaries. This particular point cannot be overemphasized, because in time past we didn't have a government that we could say was very prompt when it comes to payment of salaries. In time past, workers have to protest before their salaries are paid, but not so in this administration. Every 26th of every month, workers smile to their banks, okay, because they get paid as and when due, okay. And right now, the Edo State government is even paying the highest minimum wage in the entire country. That means the least paid person in the Edo State government right now is earning 40,000 naira, which is even higher than what the federal government under President Buhari is paying. That's to tell you that this government actually means business and is committed to civil service reforms. And apart from this, the work environment, like we also talked about previously in the first point, is actually something that every Edo people can be proud of. And we only hope that as the enduring legacies of Godwin Obaseki administration, we only hope that subsequent administration will be able to keep up, okay, and not hold salaries, and also be able to pay minimum wage above what other states can actually pay, and even above the federal government pay level. So the next legacy project is actually the Benin Central Park, or the Benin Central Terminal, located in Obakabaye in Oredo local government area. This is actually a bus park where all buses that are plying various routes can pick and drop their passengers in the heart of Benin. Okay, this project was actually commissioned recently by the chairman of the PDP in Nigeria. That's talking about Senator Yocha Ayu. Okay, I was actually there during the commissioning of this bus park. It's actually very spacious, can contain more than 500 buses at any given time. Okay, you can imagine the number of buses that use that facility every day. It has actually decongested the roads that are in the city center. So basically, if you are new to Benin, okay, just going to the Benin Central Park, you'll be able to get buses that go to every part of Edo State, so to speak. And the Central Park terminal is actually the Central Park basically has lots of features. Okay, you have various offices, you have a crèche, you have canteens and what have you in that particular place, even health centers right there in the Benin Central Park. And apart from that Central Park, the governor also built several other parks along that ring road that King Square has it. So the issue of where to park is no longer an issue because of these reforms by the governor. Okay, so the last legacy project we'll be talking about in this series for this episode is actually the TV road and the Aikmen road that is in a local government area. This is actually my local government, and so I decided I'll put this first because this road is actually a standard road and it leads to the Ekenwan axis, it leads to Siloko Road, and it terminates along that Popular 5 junction. So this road actually has culverts, it has pedestrian walkways, it has, in fact, this road is beautiful. Okay, when you see the picture, you would understand what I'm trying to talk about. So this road is actually one of the legacy projects of His Excellency, and I believe in time to come, the government will be remembered positively for actually constructing this road. So as always, we just want to keep the videos very short, so subscribe and like our YouTube and our Facebook handles respectively in order to get updates as soon as they come.